Good evening once again. Welcome to Tips and Gist YouTube. This is our classroom. This is going to be our second section for people who have won the American lottery. In this discussion, we are going to learn the secret, what to do in order to get the visa. In the part one, we learned that not everyone who won the lottery is going to get a visa. And then I explained in 30 minutes, giving you evidence, number of people applying for the lottery, number of people winning, and then the number of visas available, and then why they ignore certain people and then give the visa to only 55,000. So now you have learned a lot, and then you want to be as part of the 55,000 people. That is, you want to get a visa and then move to USA with your family. So we're now coming to discuss what to do. My last section for you guys is going to be the DS-260 form filling, and then I'll be done with you guys because I have a lot of information coming from Canada, the home rural piloting from a lot of the communities that I need to discuss with my people. And so from today, I have just one section with you guys for winning the American lottery, and that'll be all. So please make good use of my videos. They'll be stored on YouTube. Anytime you need to visit, please watch all the videos. And then those joining me on YouTube, those joining me on TikTok, and then those joining me on Facebook, please power tap and then like the video, share to your friends for them to come and listen. Now, what to do to get a visa? Secret, the top secrets, how to get the visa. And then I'll be adding the documents you will need. Now, you've seen this man over there. Donald Trump is not joking. Donald Trump is not joking. If you look at the executive orders that he's been signing of late, reducing the number of embassies operating worldwide, reducing a whole lot of staffs, bringing different how do we call it, orders, making it very difficult to enter USA currently. Now, you winning American lottery has not got, it has nothing to do with Donald Trump, because the time that you apply for the lottery, he was not in power. But you getting a visa to enter America has got something to do with this man over there, Donald Trump. So get the difference. You winning the American lottery has got nothing to do with Donald Trump. But you getting a visa to enter USA has got something to do with Donald Trump because of the executive orders he's been signing of late. All right. So now what to do? We are going on the American portal, travel.state.gov. Now we have two websites. The dvprogram.state.gov, that is where you check your results, and then that is where you'll be able to get an interview appointment. After getting an email, you log in to where you check your results, and then you see you scheduled for an appointment, and then you download it. But that is not where we apply the visa. We apply the visa on the website, the travel.state.gov. That is where we apply the visa. So two different websites I'll be giving to you. The first one is the dvprogram.state.gov. That is what we know to apply the visa, the lottery, checking the lottery and other stuff. But you applying the visa, you filling the DS-260, you need another link, and that is travel.state.gov. Travel.state.gov. Travel means you want to travel. State means USA, United States, and then gov is government. So you traveling to United States, and then the government is going to issue you the visa, and that is travel.state.gov. Just something for you to remember the website. All right. Now, if you look on my screen, this is the page of the travel.state.gov, the American government official website. If you're on TikTok, you not see, you have to join me either on YouTube or on Facebook. If you come, you can leave your comment. At this point, I'm not answering questions about those who have not been able to check their results. I have videos for you. Go and watch that video. This is for those who have won the lottery or those who want to learn about the process to help their family people. All right. Now, if you come on the website, I want you to understand that there are 10 stages for this American lottery. 10 stages for this American lottery. 10 stages for this American lottery. Stage number one is you applying. That is October, November. We already did that. Stage number two is the draw stage in March. They've already done that. Stage number 3 is the release of the results in May. They've already done that. So now, everybody winning the lottery, you are now in stage number 3. You have 7 more stages to go. And it's not a joke. 7 more stages to go. And each stage count to your success in getting the visa. Because in the part 1 of the discussion, I made you aware that not everyone going to win the lottery is going to get a visa. So now, if you are lucky and then you've won the lottery, you have 7 more stages to go in order to get the visa. And then the DS260 form is one of the stage. That is stage number 5. So you waiting for me to teach the DS260 form, it's just one stage. You need 6 other stages apart from stage number 5. You need stage number 4, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10. What to do? And that is what we are coming to discuss. So in this section, we are discussing all the stages, and then we leave stage number 5 for another discussion. That is the filling of the DS260 form. I hope you guys are following the discussion. All right. If you are new on YouTube, please, you can subscribe. It is free to subscribe. And then you can share the link and also like the program. All right. So now let us scroll down to the stages. You see, stage number 3 is selected. Now, stage number 4 is confirming your qualifications. I know a lot of people who won the lottery. Stage number 4, confirming your qualification. A lot of people won the lottery, but then they don't qualify. They don't qualify. Why? Because criteria of winning the lottery is different from criteria of getting the visa. And that is what people don't understand. The lottery is not the visa. The DS260 form you applying is the visa. And then they are giving visa to only 55,000, and more than 100,000 people will win. So they have different criteria to be able to select the 55,000. And one of the criteria is stage number 4, you confirming your qualification. What is going to qualify you to be able to proceed to fill the DS260 form? Now, criteria of winning the lottery is just you getting a correct picture, filling your details, and then if you are lucky, the computer select you. That is that. There's no magic to it. It's just a random. And that is why we call it lottery. But when you get to the visa, it's no more lotto. It's no more lottery. There's no computer going to random select another people again. No. Once you've been selected and then you are applying the visa, this time is document by document, document by document. It's no more a lottery, it's a visa. And then you need to be, how do we call it? Aware of whatever you are doing in order to get the visa. It's very important. I need you to enter the 55,000. Now, step number 4. What are some of the qualifications that can enable you get the visa? The first one is you showing that you've completed at least a secondary school. And how do you determine your secondary school? Because every country has their own curriculum. They have their own way of what? Rating their education system in their country. They need you to equivalent it to the American standard. So your school, is it equivalent to the USA standard? And what is the definition for USA standard? That is a formal education in an elementary plus senior high school. That is what equivalent to level 12 in USA. So if we read down there, you could see that the definition for high school has been stated over there. So what is high school education? A high school education means successful completion of a formal course of elementary and secondary education comparable to 12-year course in USA. So how do you rate this? If you are in Ghana, your WASI automatically qualifies you because your elementary is up to the JHS level, and that is level 9, because class 6 was level 6, JHS 1, number 7, JHS 2, level 8, JHS 3, level 9. So elementary alone is 9, level 9. And then you're going to add your secondary school to it, and that is 3 years. So 9 plus 3 is 12. So automatically you qualify. If you have NVTI, that is 3 years. So JHS is 9 plus 3 years, 12. It qualifies you. But please, it should be a formal education. A formal education means you sit in a classroom for somebody to teach you. And that is why we call formal education. We have informal education and formal education. You can do more research into it. That is the definition for high school. If you don't meet that criteria, then you need to show work experience. And then the work experience criteria is difficult than even the secondary school. The work experience is one, you should be working, have 2 years experience in the last 5 years. So we are in 2025. So from 2020 to 2025, you should have at least 2 years of work experience. And then not any job. The job should be part of the job zone 5 or 4. So if you read down there, they will tell you that the job should be designated as what? Job zone 4 or 5, with at least SVP 7 or higher. So they said the US Department of Labor definitions, it require at least 2 years training of experience. That is what? Job zone 4 or 5 with SVP, the specific vocational preparation, SVP of what? 7 or higher. And then that is where the problem is. So people will be commenting, I am a soldier, I am a police, I am what? I am what? Most of you, your jobs don't qualify because you don't train for 2 years. It is not up to the SVP 7. A typical example is police. Police training is about 6 months or so, or 1 year, and then you are just recruited into the system. It doesn't meet their 2 years training, and so they'll rate you SVP 6. So if you're a police officer, it will not qualify you. A lot fire service, a lot of the jobs don't qualify. So you, if your job doesn't qualify, then please use what? The secondary school, because it's two criteria. Either you use the secondary school or you use your work. And then if your work doesn't qualify you, why don't you stick to the secondary school? And then you see, one funny part is some of you guys, you have the secondary school, but you still be complaining, I am a plumber, I am a mason, I am this, I'm this. Before you complain, I am a plumber, I am a mason, then it means you don't have secondary school before you worry. If you have secondary school, don't worry, use the secondary school. That is the minimum requirement you can use. Because if you are a plumber, the plumber will not qualify you. Mason will not qualify. They are all job zone 3. They don't even reach job zone 4, yet alone for the SVP to reach 7. Mason, plumber, farmer, cook, all those kind of jobs, the vocational job, they don't reach. Let me tell you the gospel truth. If you go on the website, the ONET online, if you go on their website and you search the job zone for SVP 7, it is degree nurse, midwife, doctor, pharmacist, a lawyer, an accountant, about university degree jobs. That is the gospel truth. So I used to tell people, if you are a diploma nurse, you are a certificate nurse, you are what, you are what, you are what, you have secondary school. Have you seen a nurse without a secondary school? So why do you have to worry? Have you seen a midwife without secondary school? So all of you guys, you don't have to worry. All you have to do is to use your secondary school to qualify so that you will be able to proceed to the next stage. Now, somebody will ask me, Tips, I have the secondary school, as you said, since my job will not qualify me, I have secondary school, but then my WASI result is not good. I got D7, I got F9, I got E8 in mathematics or science. Now, they have something we call the core subjects, the English, math, science, or the STEM subjects. If you have a fail, I didn't even know that D7 was something should be how do you call it, a big deal to USA, because I know people getting D7 and they still get colleges in USA or even university to attend. But then this year people wrote to my mail that is I went and then they refused me the visa because I got D7. I don't know where that information is coming from, but those who went for interview sent me an email that they went for interview and then they got refused in Togo, in Cote d'Ivoire because of D7. So what I would tell you is, please make sure that if you have D7, E8, F9, Math, Science, English, don't worry. Fill the DS260 form. Since you have completed the school, you've completed, you qualify. But then because your results is not good, better your results. Go and write an off-deck. Your off-deck results will come before the release of what? The interview appointment. The interview, they will start the visa processing in October. So you have till now to October to start submitting the DS260 form. And so when you submit the DS260 form, from October, they'll start processing the visa. They didn't say submit it in October. They said they are starting the process in October. It is just like somebody saying that, let's say WASI, and they said they'll start marking the WASI in October. It doesn't mean that in October, that is when people are going to write the WASI. It means you write it and then they will get the examiners to go and mark it in October. So if they are saying that they'll start the visa processing in October 2025 to September 2026, it is telling you that you need to submit yours what on time so that they can start processing yours. And what do they do to process? They look through your DS260 to see if everything is okay. And that is the visa application form. Apart from the DS260, nothing else. If they need supporting documents, they are going to contact you for supporting documents. So it's just about they sending what they requesting, looking through your DS260, and then they will just schedule you an interview appointment. And so please fill the DS260 and submit it on time before October. Now, if you are filling the DS260 form, they'll ask you for your consulate, where you want to go and do your biometrics, the embassy you want to go for your appointment. Before you even start your particulars, once you enter your case number and the confirmation number, the next one they're going to ask you is to select a consulate or an embassy. It is very difficult or even sometimes impossible. Sometimes if you are lucky, you'll be able to change your consulate. But why don't you choose the right consulate before you don't get interview? Last year, this year, I think January, some people were saying tips. I chose Ghana and then they didn't give me interview. People are getting Togo, people are going to Abidjan. Can you help me change my embassy to who is coming to help you? You have to write to the American government and nobody has your time. Because I used to advise you guys that if you are filling the DS260, choose the right embassy that you get an appointment on time. Cote d'Ivoire is fine. That is Abidjan. Togo is fine. South Africa is fine. People even go to Trinidad and Tobago. People used to go to some African countries a lot. I knew somebody who went to not Trinidad and Tobago. There's one country in Africa. I've forgotten. This I've forgotten. When I remember, I'll tell you. But there's three main countries that I know people go a lot. Some also go to Benin, but people have been going to Togo, Cote d'Ivoire, and then South Africa. These are the three main countries. If you want to still maintain Ghana, that is your cup of tea. But if you don't get an interview, don't write to me. I'm telling the gospel truth because all those who wrote to me, nobody got help from me. I don't even know how to contact the American government for you. So you have to contact them yourself. So please do the right thing. Select an embassy where you get an appointment and then you are good to go. Because if the embassy you select is not having an appointment date for you, you are not going to get an appointment and then you're not going to get a visa. Because without the appointment, there is no visa. All right. Now, step number 5. So this is step number 4. Okay. So if you understand step number 4, then you need to proceed to step number 5. And step number 5 is what? Submitting the visa application form. That is the DS260. I've already explained. I will teach you guys how to fill it. And then I will also talk more about you selecting an embassy when you are filling the DS260. That is step number 5. Now, after submitting the DS260, one thing you have to note is I forgot to tell you this. Please, if you win American lottery, get a host. Get a host, somebody who will host you, because you need their details on the DS260 form. Without the details of the host, you cannot complete the DS260. So before you even go to step number 5, make sure that you have somebody in USA who is willing to host you. Now, it is not compulsory that you're going to stay with a person, but at least they want to know where your green card, that is the PR, the permanent resident card, will go, right? They need an address, a permanent address in USA. It is part of the DS260. So when you're filling the DS260, they ask for a permanent address in USA, and that is your host address. You need to nominate your host. Now, your host should be somebody who is living in the USA, either on LPR status or citizenship status. LPR is somebody having a lawful permanent resident card. PR, they're having a permanent resident card. Or they are citizen, they have the passport, American passport. So these people can be your host. These people can what? These people can be your host. Now, if you use their details to fill the DS260 form and then you go to USA, The government is not asking you to go and stay with them forever and ever. You can go and then you even rent your own apartment and you start staying. So it's just something that they need you to complete the DS260. So remember that, just talk to somebody and then they will be willing to give you their address. When you get an interview and then you are going for an interview, the host is going to fill a form for you. So you download the form and then you send it to them. We call it the form I-134. The form I-134. That is declaration of financial, the financial declaration. So they are going to declare the job that they are doing and then how much they get per year for the government to be aware that, okay, fine, they can host you. And then everybody in US is making money. So if somebody is a permanent resident or a citizen, don't worry about that. They will be able to fill that form for you and then you get the visa. All right. Now let's move to step number 6. So you submit the DS260 form after getting the host and then filling it properly. I'll do a video to teach you guys how to fill it. Step number 6 is prepare supporting documents. Sometimes KCC will contact you to submit supporting documents. When they don't contact you to submit supporting documents, they will just move you to step number 7. Now, those supporting documents are the civil documents. Civil documents, example is a birth cert, a passport, marriage certificate, police report, custody decree, court information if you've ever been to court before. So certain civil documentations, they will ask you to submit it if they are not okay with your DS2 system. For instance, if you are filling the DS260 form and then you state that you are married and they want to be sure, they can contact you to submit your marriage certificate. If you are filling the DS260, they ask you, have you been arrested before? Have you gone to court or police custody or something? If you select yes, then they will need a report, the custody report, the police, how do we call it? The court report or something like that. You see, so sometimes they need to be sure of whatever. They ask you certain security backgrounds that have you committed a crime before? Have you done this before? Have you done this before? If you're not lucky and they go and select yes, then they need a police report. Even without you selecting yes, even if you select no, police report is mandatory. But I'm saying that for KCC to ask you for documents before they give you an interview, it means, how do we call it? Something is probably they want an information on your DS2 system. Other times they'll ask you to submit. Sometimes they don't ask you. So I know a couple of people, they never contacted them to submit any documents. They just got interview date straightforward. Other people, they got an email to send certain documents to that email and then they sent before they got an interview date. So step number 6, it can happen to you or sometimes it may not happen to you. Now, step number 7 is the interview. You will now get an interview appointment. You get it through your email. So you get an email that you've gotten an interview, and then they'll ask you to go back to your American Lottery portal, the dvprogram.state.gov. Go there, enter your confirmation number and everything, where you used to check the lottery. You go there, and then you realize that you have an interview scheduled over there. And then you take note of the date, the time, the location, right? So the embassy, the name of the embassy, the date, the time, and everything, and the instructions to that embassy. Now, step number 8, you prepare for the interview. Okay, you prepare for the interview. Now, preparation for the interview has got to do with documents, gathering of documents, and also other mandatory requirements such as the medicals. All right. So if you are preparing for the interview, one, you have to know how to answer interview questions, because if you go and then they ask you a question and then you are not able to reply them, you might not get a visa. Okay. So you need to learn how to practice how to answer interview questions in an embassy. So you can let somebody be the officer, and you ask the person, ask me questions, and the person will be asking you questions. So you can go on Google or on YouTube, interview questions asked for a DV program visa, and then you get a lot of videos to watch, the questions they ask, and then the answers that you need to give, and then you practice it. And then also gathering your documents, because when you are going for the interview, you go with your documents. So preparing the interview, step number 8, you need to what? Gather the documents that you use to go for the interview. And such documents is what? The first one is um medicals. So you need to go for medicals. And according to what people used to tell me, they do the medicals at the country where the consulate is. So if you select Cote d'Ivoire, it means you go to Cote d'Ivoire, Abidjan, to do your medicals. I don't know if you can do medicals in Ghana and transfer it, but people are telling me that they do their medicals at the country where they selected to do the interview. That is where they go to do their medicals. So you do your medicals. You also need to get vaccination. You see, along all medical vaccinations, all right, before your scheduled interview date. So medical vaccinations, we have COVID-19 vaccination is compulsory. They have the yellow fever, they have even the childhood immunization and vaccinations. So if you don't have your weighing card, you can go to the district health directorate, and then they'll do one for you. They'll just, they know the vaccinations they give during childhood in Ghana hospitals, the rubella, the polio vaccines. They know you've taken all of that, and then they will just do everything for you. You can also search on Google the vaccination records that required by the US government. All right, the tetanus is part. You need tetanus vaccine. They need Hep B or so like that. A lot of vaccinations you will need it. So you have to start taking those vaccines and then get receipt or report for it. So apart from the medicals, you also need vaccination medicals report. Also get to know that the medicals, they only don't do the TB test. They also do blood test, and then they look at HIV, Hep B, Hep C, syphilis, and a whole lot. Even they take your urine to do gonorrhea test. All right, gonorrhea is also part of the medicals. And so one thing I will tell you is when you go in for the medicals, the report, they either send it directly to the embassy. They send it directly to the embassy, or sometimes they give it to you in a sealed envelope, and then you're not supposed to open that envelope. And so you don't know the outcome of your medicals. And so before you go for the medicals at their required hospital or center, please do your own medicals in your hospital. I didn't say do your medicals in your hospital and take that to America. No, I mean, they have hospitals in Ghana or in any country that the embassy will accept. But before you go to those hospitals, go to your local hospital and do a checkup and see whether you have HIV, Hep B, Hep C, syphilis, gonorrhea, and those kind of. You can even take an X-ray to know if you have a TB. Do your own medicals, get to know that you are fit, medically fit. Then you go and do the main medicals so that the report, because sometimes you do the medicals and they send the report to the embassy direct without your knowledge. And so you go, and then if you are not okay, they are not going to give it to you because it's a requirement. You need to be medically fit. If you are sick, I got people last year who sent me emails that they're having HIV. Some are saying they have Hep B, and they were asking me if they will still get a visa. Yes, if only it is not a newly diagnosed. Newly diagnosed means you are not aware. You went for the medicals and they just found out that you are HIV positive. That is a newly diagnosed how do we call it, disease. But if you're already on medication, you are good to go. So please, that is why I will tell you that go and do your own medicals. And then if you are having any disease, whether it be HIV or anything, the doctor will put you on medication. So that when you go for the medicals and they said you're having this, you said, yes, I've been diagnosed about 6 months ago. I'm on drugs. My viral load is even down or something like that. And they will allow you to go. Okay. And then they will allow you to go. But if you don't know and then they newly diagnose you, they'll ask you to go and visit your doctor and then come back another time. And probably you might not even get an interview date again. And that is all. You understand? All right. So please take note of the medicals. Gonorrhea is very important because a lot of the gentlemen and the ladies, you call yours white, right? It is very common, especially in the Ghanaian community, because of sexually transmitted diseases and irresponsible sex acts, sexual acts, right? They are not sticking to one partner, and so people are contracting gonorrhea and those kinds. So before you go for the medicals, please do a test and see if you are not having that. And then you treat yourself. It is treatable. You treat yourself before you go for the medicals. And then I repeat, make sure that you have the required vaccination records as part of your document. And that is all the preparations. Now, apart from these preparations, you need certain documents like photographs. So you need to take a photograph, and then you need other documentation such as the appointment information. You know, when you are scheduled an interview, you have to print an appointment in the interview appointment. The DS260 confirmation page. When you submit your DS260, they ask you to print the confirmation page, and then when you're coming for the interview, you bring it alongside. So please, the interview appointment, you need to print it, and then the DS260 confirmation page after submitting the DS260, even before you get in an interview appointment. So if you fill your DS260 next week, and then they say successful submission, you need to print the page. Let me see if I have. I don't have it over here. I would have shown it to you. I was having um a sample of submission of the DS260, but I think I've taken it down. You need to print that page as well, the confirmation page. It is very important. If you don't take it, they're not going to allow you to do the interview. You need your traveling passport. Your passport shouldn't be expiring. It should be a passport that at least you have more time on it. And then original documents of civil documents, the original copies of the civil documents. Civil documents, that is your birth cert, your marriage certificate if you are married, your marriage termination certificate, that is your divorce certificate if you are divorced, your police report, mandatory for everybody, and military records for those in the army. If you are a soldier and if you want American lottery, you need military records, court or prison records. That is, if you've been arrested before, you've gone to prison or court, you need court or prison records. And then custody documentation. That is, if you have an adopted child, and then it is he or she is part of your dependent or be joining you in USA, then you need a letter from court. That is the custody documentation. Now, apart from all the civil documents, you also need other documents to gather to go for the interview. And these documents, the first one is evidence that you have work experience, right? Education experience. And so they are going to tell you what you need to do. So evidence of you getting the education and qualification. And then I already explained this to you. Here they will tell you that equivalent certificates such as the GED are not acceptable. GED is like the BEC. BEC, they don't accept it. Vocational degrees are not considered as basics for further academic studies. Vocational degrees that are not considered as basis for further academic studies will not be considered equivalent to high school. So if you do 1 year vocational program, like I know people after GHS, they go do 1 year fashion design or 1 year how to bake a cake, right? Those who used to do pastries, 1 year vocational program, just 1 year after GHS, it cannot guarantee you entering a school in America because it doesn't meet their level 12. So those vocational degrees will not. But NVTI is accepted. People use NVTI to go to school in America. So NVTI is accepted. WASI, the WAEC results is accepted. And then NAPTEC, some of you guys, you have 3 years NAPTEC. NAPTEC, if you have it and it's 3 years, it will be accepted. But if it is 2 years, it doesn't meet their level 12. So you see the equivalent. BEC is not accepted, and then any vocational degree that cannot be accepted for academic studies in US will also not be accepted. An example is that 1 year vocational, 2 year vocational, it will not be accepted. Right. Now, work experience, I already explained to you SVP7 with job zone 4 or 5. All right. Now, apart from those documents, you also need deportation documentation. If you've been deported before, then you need documentation. If you've gone to America and then they've deported you before, you need to submit the deportation documentation. Marriage certificate, I already told you. Marriage termination documentation, I already told you. Custody documentation, I already told you. So basically, these are the documents you will need. The visa fee is $330 per person. So if you are going alone, $330. If you are going with your wife, multiply by 2. If you are going with your kids, you have to pay for all of them. Now, some of the embassies will take their money at the consulate. If you are going that day, if you enter the embassy, you pay your money over there. Other embassies will ask you to pay online even before you go. So it depends on the instruction on the embassy. Now, let me read. One lady went for her visa. I did a video on TikTok. She got her visa in was it February or March? She contacted me when she got appointment to Abidjan. Let me read her email. I'll not display it on the screen because of confidentiality. So let me read it and show you. All right. From Abidjan, that is abjvisastate.gov. That is Abidjan Consulate. That is their email address. DV instruction note. Please complete the electronic DV DS260 and send it to abjvisa@state.gov before the appointment date. So if you've submitted it, that is fine. Please bring the administrative documents listed 1 to 5 on the day of interview. Number 1, your passport, a valid passport. Then photograph. The photo format is 5 centimeters by 5 centimeters, less than 6 months old, white background. So they need a passport photograph, 5 centimeters by 5 centimeters, and then you submit it. Administrative documents. They need a birth cert, marriage certificate for married candidate only if you're married, a valid criminal record for candidates over 15 years. So that is police report. So anybody over 15 years, you need to submit police report. Now academic records, they need your university diploma, secondary school results, and other stuff. You need to submit that. Certificates and other professional references in an activity considered qualifying. So if you don't have your certificate and then your work experience is qualifying you, then you need a reference from your boss. All right. So the jobs that qualifies, then you need references or recommendation letters from your companies. All right. And you need a sponsor support certificate, and that is the host, the form I-134 with tax returns for the most recent tax year. So the host will fill that form for you, and then they will send it to you. Medical examination. So you do medicals. The name of the approved physician was in Cote d'Ivoire. That is why I told you. So they would give the name of the doctor and then the location, the telephone number, the email address, and how to even book a medical appointment. They'll give you the website. Everything will come as part of. If you get an interview appointment, the moment you get an interview appointment, they will send the email with every instruction on it. I cannot show it to you because it is an email, but I'm reading to you guys. Then the fees to pay. On the day of the interview, the applicant will pay. So they've got a fee of 330 US dollars. That is equivalent to CFA, the CFA franc, 214,500 franc. Please come with the exact amount. That is why I told you that some people will just get the interview, and then when they are going for the interview, they'll go and pay the money at the embassy or the consulate. You understand? All right. And then they will say dependent candidates, that is children, spouses present in the file, are subject to the same fee. So they all pay each. Please pack your folder on the day of interview as follows. Please provide each person the original documents on the hand of the copies. So if you are going with your wife and the kids, they need the passport of them, the birth cert, the marriage certificate, and other stuff. Criminal record, because your wife, your husband, or some of your kids might be more than 15 years. And then a diploma certificate or the SHS for the winner only. So the main applicant, the winner only. And then the sponsor document, that is the host documents. So you pack them, about 6 documents they've listed. So if you get an interview, don't worry. You get an email and then you read it. Instructions for candidates who registered a new birth after being selected. So now that you've won American lottery, let's say you are pregnant. So by the time you go for the interview, you would have given birth, you need to register your new child. Okay, you need to register your new child. So if some happen to you that way, this is the instruction. You need to complete another DS260 form, a passport plus copy, the birth set, and a photograph of the child. Okay, and a photograph for your child. So that is how it is going to be. And then she sent me that email January 23rd. January 23rd, and then she got her visa later. She got her visa later. All right. So that is how you're going to get an email for the interview. Now, back to what we were discussing. So now we've seen the documents that the Abidjan consulate or embassy sent to her to submit. It's similar to the documents that I just mentioned over here. All right. Now, after that, the next one to do is stage number 9 during the interview date. So, how do you go for the interview? You need to go there on time and then go with all the documents listed as I told you. And then when you go, you have to perform properly. Okay. If you are going and then because if for any reason you cannot attend the interview, then you need to contact the consulate and then reschedule another appointment. Please make sure that they are doing the visa processing from October 2025 to September 2026. October 2025 to October 2026. Somebody's asking me, how much are we supposed to pay for the medicals? When you go on the portal, they'll give you a website to go. Okay, I don't know for US medicals. I don't know. So when they give you the appointment and then you go, it will be there. All right. But I'm not sure that medicals is that expensive. Okay. So don't worry. You shouldn't worry, Grace. Don't worry. You don't need to prove a bank statement. You see, I didn't mention bank statement because your sponsor, the host, will be filling the form I-134 for you. So you don't need to prove a bank statement. So the only money is what you'll be doing your medicals, paying the visa fee, blah, and then you get the visa. Okay. So Grace, don't worry that much. All right. Now, when you go for the interview, perform well. Know your what you need to answer. That is why I will encourage you guys to come and learn how to fill the DS260 form properly. Because if you fill the DS260 form properly, you will be able to know what you entered in the DS260 form, and then you will be able to answer the interview questions. They're not going to ask you questions beyond what is on the DS260. There's no way they're going to ask you who is the Minister of Finance in America or who is the MP for this. They're not going to ask you that. They're going to ask you, what are you going to do in the USA? And of course, when you are filling the DS260, they ask you those questions. They're going to ask you, so what is your current academic records? Where did you school? You said you went to secondary school. What is the name of the school? You see, they'll be asking you petty questions. And please, don't forge document. Don't let any agent forge documents. You'll be banned to America. If you're not careful, they will even arrest you. Okay, if you forge WASI results, they are going to confirm from the WAEC portal. So please, don't forge any document. That is why even if you go with a university degree, they need the WASI. The reason is anybody can get a certificate from KNUST or Legon. It is very easy, and they cannot authenticate it that day. So if you go with any degree certificate, they even want the WASI. If the WASI is okay for them, then the university is the plus for you. So even if you are going with a university degree, whether masters, whatever, they still need your WASI. And that is why if your WASI is not correct, write an deck and then it will help you because deck too, they check on the same WAEC portal. The WAEC portal is reliable for them. What they'll do is they will let you buy a results checker, okay, that code, and then they will log in and then they will check the results to see if you are the certificate you presented is okay for them. And then for your degree and whatever, it is a bonus for you. The basics they need is your secondary school. So please don't forge documents because if you forge secondary school certificate, they are going to ban you 10 years or even more than that. And then if you're not lucky, they will even arrest you. And then if US give you a ban, it affects so many countries like UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. So please be careful. I know some of you guys, you completed JHS, if you won the American lottery, and then an agent will tell you, I can help you. Don't worry, I'll get secondary school results for you. Don't joke, because you realize that one, you pay the visa fee, all right, go for the interview. They will find out on the wire portal it is not there. They will refuse you, ban you to USA, and then if you're not lucky, they can even arrest you for what? Forgery. And then it will still affect your UK, Canada, and other stuff because they share immigration documents. So don't let any agent deceive you. If you've won the lottery and you don't have secondary school, stop it. Stop it. All right. Now, apart from that, when you go for the interview, I've already told you perform very well. Any question they ask you, be confident enough and then answer. Where the trick part is, those who are married, they ask more questions about your partner because they know that some of you guys, after winning the American lottery, that is when Kweku will come. Hey, Adwa, Grace, can you add me? I want to marry you. I'll pay you money. Then you take me to America. They are aware of those kind of marriages. Current, it is in the news. Donald Trump, they've sacked about. I've forgotten the number. I said I would do a video and then they took my TikTok page. It came in the news that fake marriages in US, they've deported all of them. They come to your home, your husband is not there. Where's your husband? They realize that those who are doing marriages in America, it is not real marriage. And then they've been deporting all of them. So I'm not the one to tell them. They are already aware that people are doing fake marriages. It is all over the internet. So this time around, if you are going and then the person is not your partner, then I don't know. Because if they ask you any question and then you don't know, and then they ask your partner and your partner say otherwise, you're going to find yourself wanting. So please know your left and right. If I were you, I'll just do my thing and go. I'll just do my thing and go. Mm. All right. After passing the interview, what is next? The last stage, and then we end the program. After passing the interview, step number 10, that is visa approval. You will be informed that you have been you've gotten the visa. So they'll tell you congratulations, welcome to America. And then they will take your passport over there. Okay. They will take your passport and then you go, they'll print the visa and then they'll give it to either DHL or any of their delivery services to bring it to you. Okay. So you'll not get the visa that day. They'll tell you congratulations. You'll be aware that you've qualified. And then you come home within some 15 days or 10 days, you get your passport and then your visa is inside. Now, when you get the visa, they're going to give you a sealed packet. It is a document and then they've sealed it. You are not supposed to open that packet. You are supposed to go with it and then you give it to the visa officer, the custom and border office at the airport, America airport. So when you get your visa, you prepare, you keep the packet safely and then you prepare. You gather your documents, you buy your stuffs, your bag, your traveling bag, any documents that you need, any food stuff, any attire and everything. You gather everything and then you just book your flight ticket and then you go. And then you go with the sealed packet. When you get to the airport, that is the port of entry, they're going to ask that packet. If they realize that you have opened it, you're going to be in trouble. Okay, so after the visa, when you get the visa, you have to make sure that there are no errors in your visa. And then the second one is sealed packet. The sealed packet, you have to make sure that you don't open it. They say you must not open the sealed packet. Okay, you only give it to the US Custom and Border Protection people at the port of entry. That is the airport. When should you travel? You must arrive and apply for admission in the USA no later than the visa expiration date. Now, a diversity visa is valid for 6 months in your home country. So when they give the visa to you, it is valid for 6 months for you to travel. If you don't travel and it expires, count yourself out. You cannot travel to USA again. You cannot. So when they give the visa to you in March, make sure that you prepare yourself and then travel within what? 6 months. If you put it there and you be like, hey, I'm in school, I'm in level 300. So let me get my certificate before I go to America. By the time you complete, the visa has expired. It is only 6 months. So you cannot say, I'll go next year. No, you have to go within 6 months after getting the visa. And then if you are going with your wife and then your kids, and then they are not going to the interview the same date with you, make sure that their date is before September 2026, because the visa processing is from October 2025 to September 2026. It is part of your instructions. Those who won, read your instructions, it is there. So if you don't let your wife and your kids or your dependents go for their interview and get their visa before September 2026, count them out. They also cannot go. So make sure that you and your family, you all have your visa before September 2026. And once you get your visa, make sure that you travel within 6 months after getting that visa. You can travel the next day, the next week, the next month, the next 2 months, the next 3 months, but make sure that 6 months do not um, get you in your home country. If you're in Ghana, you're still not in Ghana. You have to go to USA. All right. And then when you go there, you're going to pay an immigrant fee. Now, the immigrant fee is different from the visa fee. So, apart from the $330 for the visa, you need to also pay for the green card. Okay, I've forgotten the fee for the green card. You need to pay for it. We call it the Form I-551 or the green card. You pay for it. And then when you go, they are going to issue the form to you, how do you call it, the green card to you in America. You don't get the green card in Ghana or your home country. You only get it after you've been able to travel to USA, and then you go and get your green card over there. So you only get the visa in your passport. The visa is different from what? The green card. So the visa is in your passport, and then the green card is like the Ghana card, but it is a bit greenish in color. Okay, so the green card is that square, a rectangle document like a Ghana card. Okay, that is the green card, and then you only get that one after you go to USA. You don't get it in Ghana. You need to pay for that one as well. Okay, all right. Now, vaccination record, I told you guys you need vaccinations. X-ray, when you go for the medicals, they'll do an X-ray and then they'll give the X-ray to you. When you are going to USA, you need to carry your X-ray to USA. When you enter USA, when entering USA, the main applicant or the principal applicant or the primary applicant must enter before or the same time the family members. So if you are going with your wife and your kids, you are the man, you won the American lottery. It's either you first go or you go with them. They cannot go before you. If you are a lady and if you won the American lottery, your husband cannot go before you. You either go with your husband or you go before your husband. Because when your husband reach the port of entry, they'll ask, why are you coming to USA? Your husband will say, my wife won American lottery. Where is your wife? In Ghana. They'll say, go back. The main applicant has to enter before or the same time with what? The family member. So you, the main applicant, you need to take the lead or they go with you. All right. Before the visa expires, you all have 6 months to prepare. After getting the visa, you have 6 months to prepare and leave. All right. And then you go with your sealed packet, and then when you go, they'll give you a permission to enter USA. So you request a permission. A visa does not guarantee you entering America. So after getting the visa, it doesn't even guarantee you entering America. You can still reach the airport and then they'll find something and they'll say that no, we find something on your mobile phone. You were insulting Donald Trump. So we cannot let you in. You see, so please make sure that you don't do anything against the US policy. You are not against America. Okay, they can find anything through your social media or anything. Even if you have the visa, they will not still allow you to enter. Of late, there were a lot of travel restrictions. People went to airport. I saw a story on TikTok about a doctor who was who went for holidays and then was not allowed to enter America again. She was even handling a surgery, a surgery about, is it a kidney transplant or something? And then she went for holidays. She was going back and then they didn't allow her to enter because they found something on her mobile phone. So you getting a visa doesn't mean they will allow you to enter. If they find something fishy, they'll not let you enter. That is why they've written over there. You cannot take them to court because it is written on their portal that a visa does not guarantee entry to USA. The Department of the Homeland Security and the US Customs and Border Protection officials, they have the authority to grant you or deny you admission. All right. If you are admitted, that means if they allow you to enter America, you are going to enter America as what? A lawful permanent resident, or also called a green card holder. And then you will be permitted to work and live in the USA permanently. Okay. So when you enter USA, the day you step in USA, you are holding what? LPR, a lawful permanent resident status, or the green card holder. And then you'll be allowed to live there and work permanent. Permanent means it has no ending. You can live there forever and ever, except maybe you commit any crime or something and they don't want to deport you. If not, you can stay there. All right. It's a permanent resident. Now, when you go there as a permanent resident, I told you that um, they're going to give you your PR, that is the green card later, and then they're going to give you a social security number. If you are filling the DS-260 form, they ask you for social security number, and so you need the social security number. When you go, you file for it. Okay, so they ask you, do you need a social security number? You say yes. Okay, fine. So when you go there, you're going to get your social security number. It allow people to work in the USA. Okay, it's something like a tax something before they want to tax you or something like that. Okay, so anybody working legally in USA, they have the SSN, the social security number. All right. So this is the end of our discussion. From you winning the lottery, the entire process through the interview preparation, the day of the interview, you getting the visa, you flying to USA, what will happen at the airport, and then what will happen when you enter America. At this point, I think I've done enough for you guys. I've streamed for 56 minutes and then I'm tired. Our next discussion is going to be at the S260 form, the step number 5, how to fill it properly. Okay, so you need this video and our next video. This video is the whole steps, and the next video is only the DS260. So once you submit the DS260, you need to revisit this video to know the other steps to get the visa. And then those asking for confirmation number, I have done videos on it. I am not teaching you guys today. Go and watch my video, how to retrieve your confirmation number. If you cannot watch the video, let your brother, your friend, your husband, your wife watch it and do it for you. If no family member is doing for you, no friend is doing for you, forget and stay in Ghana. Okay. If you don't have, you have about 100 people in your WhatsApp contact. If nobody is willing to help you, or you yourself, you're not willing to watch the video, enter your full name, date of birth, and get your results, and then you are in my DM, I cannot help you. I have other obligations to satisfy this week. So please let your family members help you, because the DS-260 form is the most important thing. That is my headache, how I can be able to teach them and not you going to check your confirmation number. So go and watch the video and then check your results and then come and join us. If you cannot watch the video, let your brother, your friend, your family member watch it for you. Tips and just I cannot watch it and do it for you. Thank you very much. And then some people were also asking other questions. When I sent, they said the primary entrance information must be verified. I don't understand. I'm Ponsa, I don't know what you mean. Ellen, I don't know what you mean. When I sent what when you sent what, have you won the lottery? This discussion is for lottery. If you're not able to check your results, go and watch video how to check the results. Not in this discussion. Okay, this is a classroom. You cannot ask mathematics question when we are doing physics. So please ask questions pertaining to what to do after the lottery, and not those of you guys not able to check the results. I'm not here for you today. I was here for you yesterday and then last 3 days. So go and watch that video. Um, Another question. Um, Another question. I'm taking questions from people. I'm taking questions from people. Jackson is saying that help me out. I'm done filling the DS-260 form, and I got to the part that is sign and certification. I put in my case number, passport number, but still it shows red flag. That means you're not entering something properly. Okay, you're not entering something properly. So they need your case number, your passport number. So enter the case number properly and then your passport number properly. Okay, if not, you still get the red flag. Do it properly. All right. I think these are the few questions for those who are having issues with. Jackson is saying that my case number. Yeah. So please, do the right thing. Okay. Sometimes change your browser, log into other browsers. Okay. If you're using Google Chrome and it's not working, change your browser to either a Firefox or something like that. Um, my friend won, but the problem is he's a JHS leaver. In what case, what should he do? He has to stop because even if you want to register WASI and write, by the time you write the WASI, you have submitted your DS260. And what are you going to put on the DS260? You put on it that you completed JHS. The DS260 at the education background, they said fill from secondary school and above. They didn't say fill from JHS. So your friend now going to write the WASI. He has not completed what? Secondary school. So he cannot put any school there. And once you don't put any school there and you put any job and the job is not meeting SVP, he will not even get an interview date. So it's a waste of time. Okay. He will not even get an interview date because the DS260 will be incomplete because he cannot fill the secondary school part. So it will be incomplete. I think these are the questions that you have. All right. So I'll leave you guys. It is 1 hour video. Anytime you can revisit. When you join me later, after ending the program, you can watch from the scratch. If you're on TikTok, you can come on YouTube and then you watch from the scratch. I'm not going to answer questions about how to go by stuffs again on TikTok or anything. If you ask me a question, I'll direct you on YouTube because you can see how tired I am. And I do that to for you guys. So once I am done, it means I am done. If you have anything, you have to go on my YouTube. And that is what I used to do. So if you're on TikTok listening to me and then you didn't join us, get to know that I've done it on YouTube. If you've won the American lottery, you will only get help on my YouTube page. And that is why I used to ask you to come and join and then ask your question. Okay. Tips. I thought that we are supposed to fill the DS260 form was to last within 24 hours only. And no, you can fill and submit the DS260 form anytime. Okay. Anytime when you are filling the DS260 form and then you rest somewhere and then you are not able to complete, you can save it and then return to it later. Okay. Anytime you can open it. All you have to remember is your logins and then you continue until you finish and then you submit your DS260 form. That is how you're supposed to go by it. If you don't have any question, we have to end it. Okay, I repeat, those of you guys having issues about checking your results, I've done videos. It is going to help you. It is your name, your date of birth, and then your email address to be able to get the confirmation. So go and then do it. They're not asking you 10 questions, they're asking you only 3 questions. Your full name, date of birth, and email address. This is simple. If you cannot do it, then it means you cannot also fill the DS260. So forget about it. And then stay in Ghana and then find a job and do. Because you people don't want to invest time to learn anything. You are like, do it for me, do it for me, do it for me. All right, guys, I will end here. Another time next week. I'll find time maybe on Sunday or Monday. Okay, I'll find time and then I'll come and do the DS260. If you want to do the DS260 before our discussion, I have a video for last year. You can scroll down my videos and then you see the lesson for last year and then you fill yours. But if you want to wait for me next week, you can wait for me next week. We all learn it together. Then after that, then you fill. All right. Good night.